Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode number 274, featuring none other than the host of, in my opinion, the greatest red pill radio show, internet live stream show, whatever you'd like to call it. None other than Mr. Man, Donovan Sharpe. Good morning, Donovan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I just got done working out, and when I get done with this, I've got to record a video for YouTube. I've just hired a professional videographer, and
Wow.
sort of reinvesting in my show. I'm gonna try to work with the YouTube algorithm rather than bitching and complaining about it all the time. I'm getting some ink a little bit later on, and I've got to go out and water and repot my flowers. So busy day for your boy today.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. One of my buddies, he said to me when I was younger, he says, you know, you're getting older when your favorite shop to go to is Home Depot and you start memorizing all the names of the flowers.
I've been into gardening for a while.
Have you?
Yeah. I was into gardening back when I was married, and there's just something I enjoyed about it, man. I think I planted a small garden at a house that we owned, and I just fell in love with it, man. And every year, like, even as crappy as my marriage was, the one thing that we certainly enjoyed doing was gardening. So I probably spent almost $500 in flowers, and we're decorating the front yard and doing all that stuff. So I look forward to that stuff. It's kind of therapeutic for me.
Yeah, we all have our hobbies. For me personally, I like to cook. Like I take it relatively seriously. I'm a huge Gordon Ramsay fan.
Oh yes.
Talk about an alpha male. That guy is a monster,
dude. Oh my God.
But folks, today, as you know, we are on day, I believe it's day 15 of Generals June, where every day in this month of June we'll be featuring generals in the Hot Dude Army, and I'm honored to be joined by a good general in the Hot Dude Army, Mr. Donovan Sharpe. Donovan, let's just talk real quick about Body Language Mastery. Obviously, opening on June 25th. You will be there behind the scenes. You are seriously becoming a huge name in the manosphere, the red pill sphere. You had your breakthrough on Return of Kings, and I remember, like, when you have a certain magnetism about you. I'll never forget the first day I saw you talking. You had, I think you had an Atlanta Falcons hat on, and I was like, who is that black guy with the Atlanta Falcons hat? And you were like, it's me, Donovan Sharpe. And I was like, oh my God, like the guy from fucking Return of Kings. Yeah. And then I started calling in, and then you had me on the show. You and Rolo had me on the show, and then it's just been history. Let's just talk about this first. How did you feel about, like, do the first behind the scenes doing the webinar coaching and in the Body Language Mastery when you joined?
I guess the thing that and it's sometimes hard for me to make those because I'm an old man, and I tend to go to bed early so I can wake up early. But the thing that I enjoyed the most is that you don't have dudes in there looking for shortcuts. You don't have dudes in there looking for the magic bullet. Sometimes I look in my chat, and this is just the sign of the times. But even guys who are not really patrons, but guys who are members on my channel, my members only chat, they'll ask questions in such a way that suggests that I'm a Google search. They'll say how to be confident with girls. And I'm like, dude, I'm not a fucking Google search. I'm fucking Donovan Sharpe. Donovan, how do I become more charismatic with girls? But you don't get that with your webinars. I think I only did 2 last time. I might be able to make it for a couple this time, because obviously I'm working on massive projects of my own. Of course, I've got Womanese Volume 2 coming out on July the 31st.
Great product.
Yeah, it's really good, and the videographer is actually going to put that together for me too, so it's going to look much better. It's going to be much cleaner. But yeah, the thing that
I said July 31st.
July 31st. Yep,
perfect. That's when Body Language Mastery webinars end. You can scoop them all up right after that.
Interesting. I was gonna release it on July the 15th, but I felt like that was too close to Body Language Mastery. So it was actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because I've already got my model. She's already done. I've already paid her. She's finishing up the videos now. But but getting back to your webinars, that's what I like the most, is that your audience is educated. Your audience doesn't ask, not that there's not a time and a place for remedial questions, because we all have to start somewhere. But I like talking to guys who know a little bit about the game. They have a little bit of red pill knowledge. So we can really sort of talk advanced game. We can sort of talk next level game, and guys are drinking it up. Now I'm talking, wait a minute, what are you talking about? No, your guys are educated, man. That's what's really impressed me the most about that.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, and it's good to have you back. Helping the guys as well. I think we're cut from the same cloth in many ways. And like, let me ask you this: like, what gave you the urge to just start helping men on a daily basis like you did? Because I remember your old podcast, or your old video cast, if you will, where they were like black and white, and it was just you sitting at a desk, kind of like with a microphone, and it was very it was kind of very minimalist, like when I started. But like, if you look at the Joe Rogan show, like they first started with a laptop on a couch, and now he just got $100 million Spotify deal. What drives you? What makes you want to do this? Why don't you just go live a quiet red pill life silently? What's the driving factor?
Yeah, I'm not made that way, man. I'm a guy that always pushes. I'm the guy that always pushes for more. And it's almost like you have to live in a constant state of malcontent to keep that drive alive. Dude, I'm more successful than I've ever been financially. I've been more successful than I've ever been in my life. And the weird thing is when I was younger, I used to think, if you own a car dealership, Scott Garton Chevrolet, come out and see us. These car dealership owners make millions of dollars a month, probably tens of millions of dollars a year. And I remember thinking when I was 22, 23, why wouldn't you just make $20 million and call it a day? But now that, and I'm not making $20 million, hopefully, who knows, maybe I'll be worth that someday. But the weird thing is, man, is the more you get, the more you want. And it's not a greed thing. I just like my goal, and these are some pretty lofty goals, but my goal is to, how can I put this? I don't want to sound like I want to be synonymous with the red pill. My goal is to be on the Mount Rushmore of the red pill. I want to be there with guys like Rouge and Rollo and Royce of Chateau. Now, Chateau Hartis definitely has game. I don't really like his racial undertones. And of course, I'm not going to, because I'm black. Anytime you call somebody that looks like me a dindu, I'm going to take that the wrong way. That's just
really what racial undertones does he have?
If you go to Chateau Hartis or just Google Chateau Hartis, every once in a while, when he talks about black men dating white women, listen, whether he has a problem with it or not, I don't know, but he never calls us black men. He calls us dindus. That is overtly derogatory.
Oh, wow.
But, well, it is what it is.
I didn't even know about that.
Well, listen, I used to read his blog every day. I used to read his Rollo's, the 3 R's they used to call it. Now Rouge, of course, is, he's going his own way, being a Christian, he found God and all the rest of that.
Celibacy coach.
Yeah, man. But even though there were those overt racial undertones with Chateau Hartis, I was still able to separate the art from the artist. That guy has all the game. He taught me a lot of what I know now. Like I used a lot of his stuff when I was in Vegas. But my goal is for when this finally actually goes mainstream, because John, listen, man, I gotta come correct. You were right and I was wrong. And I thought that you were just being sort of an optimist, just because maybe we're kind of in an echo chamber. And yeah, we are in an echo chamber to some degree. I don't want to listen. I like my echo chamber. I like for us to get together and plan together. I have no room for people who are trying to come in and poison my community. Donovan, you're just trying to do an echo chamber. Yes, I am. But this thing is really going to it's going to go mainstream at some point. It might happen in the next 5 to 10 years. Guess what, John? We're not going to be dead and buried. I was wrong. I didn't think that it was going to go mainstream, but it appears that it is. When it does, I want my name to be synonymous with that. One of these days, it's going to make the evening news. It's going to be one day it makes the evening news. There is a movement that has happened for the last 20 years. And guess what? It's here. This red pill movement. And the main guys are Rollo Tomasi, Rouge Valizadeh, who is Dariush Valizadeh, aka Rouge, Donovan Sharpe. I want to be mentioned with the greats, and that's what drives me. And listen, sort of foreshadowing here, I'm in the middle of acquiring a second studio. So this is Studio A. I'm looking at a Studio B, and I've talked to you about that before. So I don't want to be the Rogan of the Red Pill. I want Rogan to be the podcast of the Red Pill. You understand? I want him to be the Donovan Sharpe of mainstream media. So that's sort of my goal. So that what drives me is excellence. What drives me is people saying, love him or hate him, Donovan Sharpe made a difference in my life, right or wrong or indifferent or good or bad, whatever the case may be. That guy right there is the reason why this is where it's at.
I love it. I love it. And it's so true about, it's kind of like dating girls, like you can fuck 10 super hot Russian babes in Vegas. Like you've probably fucked numerous, but after you bang them, you just want more. After you make, $100,000 a year, you're like, okay, let's get 200,000. Then you make 200,000, like, fuck this. Let's do 3. Let's do 4. Right. And I know, going back to that initial question though, like what is it that drives you? Like, why do you do this? Like, you could be great at anything. Why this?
Because it helps people, like I never thought in a million lifetimes that I would actually be able to help people. Mm-hmm. The most gratifying thing about doing what I do is getting those emails, those phone calls. Donovan, you helped change my life. Donovan, because of you, I am now doing XYZ. And I've never, ever been in this position before, ever. I never got that when I was at Return of Kings because I just wasn't big enough. All I was a writer at that point, and I was smack dab in the middle of my cocaine-fueled Vegas days. Mm-hmm. But when I decided to show my face and I really started taking this thing much more seriously, I think it was right. And I still didn't take myself seriously until I got to about episode 400. And I remember thinking to myself, dude, I'm on episode 400. I might actually have something going on here. It was right around episode 400. That's when I started getting a flood of emails. Donovan, you've helped change my life. You helped my friend, et cetera, et cetera. And I said to myself, this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. And guess what, John? I still wasn't making any money. I wasn't making anywhere near what I was making back in the day. I don't know, maybe 1,500, maybe a couple of grand a month. And that was it. And that's what drove me, is the fact that people are thanking me. And listen, call that validation, whatever the case may be. It is I take tremendous pride knowing that I have actually helped grown men change their lives. You have no idea how mind-blowing that is. It's just it's an incredible feeling.
That's awesome. I want to say thanks to Grovelite from the Super Chat. $5 says, you guys got me into podcasting. Finished recording last night with my dudes. Donovan, you the man. I'll be back on the phone line soon. Thanks so much, Greg. Moving forward, so, I was doing really successful in my medical recruiter job, or medical device recruitment industry. Had a job, a Fortune 500 company, but I had, if you take a look at my channel in 2017, there was a 9-month gap on the channel. And I tried to walk away, but I just really felt like, because honestly, when I was in my 20s up to like age 25, I don't know if you remember him, but I used to work with a guy named Player Supreme. And
I'm not familiar with him.
He was an old school black player, and he taught me a lot about positive mindset and, the red pill nature and all the undertones that are in the society as well, when you talk about, the liberal agenda, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I just found that so valuable as a young man, and I just felt called to do this as well. And I understand I definitely probably don't get as much praise as you, but I've been getting a lot more lately. With the pandemic pickup, a lot of the guys came through and just like, even your boy Geese Howard, all those guys, or pimped out Geese and all them, they were just saying like, this has really changed my life. Thank you so much. And it's gratifying. Like I think it's beyond the money now for you and I. Like it just kind of, it bypasses your thought process. Like, it's fun to make the money for sure. Sure. And I don't think we're in the money because you spend it as quick as you get it to put up the best fucking computer, best studio, best equipment. Sure. But like, it's just, it really is gratifying. And really, I just feel like even if there was 100 of you and 100 of me, we still wouldn't be able to reach all the guys that need to be reached.
No. And, reinvesting, I think, is something that a lot of guys make a lot of money doing what we do. Yeah. But what I want people to see constant change. I want them to see that their investment in me is being paid back. And I think it goes without saying, I don't know how you feel, but I know how I feel. I've changed the lives of my audience and guys follow me, but these guys have no idea that they have changed my life in ways that I could never imagine. Like, guys, Donovan, you've changed my life, and I'm glad to hear that. But my audience has changed my life tenfold. And so when I make a lot of money doing whatever project I'm doing, I always save 65% of it, and then I invest the other 35% in my surroundings. I just bought a $15,000 Mac Pro. $15,000 I paid for this computer. Okay. Yeah. That was of course on the heels of Womanese 101. Yeah. I could have taken that money and bought another car. I could have taken that money and bought a bunch of junk. And don't get me wrong, I try to take time to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I don't know, something about it. If you reinvest in something, it's going to pay you and everyone back. I want all of my audience members. I want my audience to feel like when they invest in me, they're going to get something in return. And that's another thing that drives me, is that I'm like every day, John, and I don't know if you feel this way or not. Every day I wake up afraid to fail. And I say to myself, what can I do today to keep myself from failing tomorrow? Because, dude, listen, we can be snuffed out like that. And this is interesting. Royal, in the chat, he made a very good point. He said, the censorship is only going to get worse. I can't see his comment now, but he said, listen, he should do his website or whatever the case. Oh, he needs to invest in his own website and start driving his audience to it. YouTube is terribly unreliable. Royal, I'm actually 5 steps ahead of you, man. Not only do I have my own website, I have my own streaming platform. It's called Sharpe Stream. This is where I do my live daily streaming show. So I use YouTube to sort of advertise, and I'll play the game. I'm going to play the algorithm game. I'm going to stay away from curse words. I'm going to stay away from certain things that triggers them to sort of throttle me. But if you want to watch the unfiltered, raw, uncut Donovan Sharpe, then you can come to my channel. So I sort of get the best of both worlds. I can play the YouTube game, but then I can go off and say whatever I want on my channel or on my own platform. And I think at some point, it's probably going to get to a point, John, where they're just going to axe all of us. I don't know when, I don't know where it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And so that's why I reinvest in the show, because when it happens, and it is going to happen, I want my audience to say, hey, you know what? Donovan's not on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook anymore because I cut everybody off. We can still get his content on a daily basis. So that's another reason why I always reinvest in my show.
You really think they're going to axe everybody?
I don't know, man.
I think. What do you think about the Joe Rogan deal? I think that was a big wake up call to YouTube. Because isn't he the #1 podcast in the world, and he's officially leaving YouTube?
Yeah. He is the #1 podcast in the world. But check this out. YouTube can do without Rogan, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it would be the same place with or without Rogan. YouTube could do without PewDiePie. YouTube could probably do without the top 100 cash cow money making content creators. Mm-hmm. That's not YouTube does not get out of probably YouTube. Not even 5% of YouTube's income or revenue comes from the top guys, no matter who they are. No, it comes from the bottom 95%. And if enough of the bottom 95%, if there's some mass exodus, then YouTube's going to have to make a business decision. Do we want to push this feminist socialist agenda, or do we want to stay in business? Now, they might just say, you know what? They've got enough money to where YouTube could take a loss every year. In their minds, I think they've got their feet dug in the sand. At some point, they're going to be like, you know what? This is not a money-making venture force anymore, but we can still influence people. So you guys can go ahead and go. We're going to continue doing what we do. But the people who leave YouTube and go to other platforms, those are going to be the guys who have the most, how can I put this? That have the most clout. Okay. Yeah. If you have the most clout when you have your own platform, and every time I get deplatformed or demonetized somewhere, they literally put more money in my pocket because my content is now at a premium.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard, and I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, but I have. First of all, YouTube was started by a guy named Chad. That's a solid W right there.
There you go.
Then he sold it to Google, but I believe since they have purchased YouTube, they have never made a profit. Every single year it's a loss. Yeah, every single year it's a loss.
Wow.
And since they put this lady, Susan Wojcicki, in charge, I mean, the YouTube Rewind, are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
So the YouTube Rewind is like the recap of every year that that all the most viral hits that happened on YouTube. And in 2019, the YouTube Rewind was the #1 most disliked video on YouTube. So I think they're definitely screwing up for sure. And then David Hunter says right here, YouTube's CEO is a female, so that probably explains why a lot of MGTOW content is starting to become deleted. Yeah, there's a lot of I mean, it's profitable to push feminism in the blue pill. Like behind the scenes, I have a friend that he runs digital marketing. Young kid, he's like 23. He has a pretty respectable business, pulls in about $40,000 to $30,000 a month, and he's not even like in the red pill sphere like us,
Right.
but he was saying like, man, if you want to be a woman and start an online digital business, all you need to do is be a 6 out of 10 and talk about women's empowerment, and that's it. You made it.
Yep.
But for us, you have to be intelligent. You have to be smart with your words. You have to have digital marketing, text message marketing, email marketing. I mean, that's why. And I don't know if I think it was you that said it on Dude Party that men shouldn't take advice from women because women don't struggle at all.
They don't know at all. Yeah, women in, and specifically, it's not even just white women. Women in this country, they live the best lives of any class of human on the planet, right? The more they get, the more they want. And for that reason, they will never, and I don't mind that it's this way. I like that life for men is harder than life is for a woman. Dude, if women live the kinds of lives we live, they'd all be off in themselves. Dude, women can't handle what the fuck we handle. They're not genetically capable of doing so. So I'm never going to complain that it's easier for women than it is for men. And in that same vein, I used to be the guy who bitched and complained, oh, YouTube is X and this and this and that and the other. But at some point, I had to sort of keep it real with myself. I can either continue to bitch and complain, or I can play the game. Because real talk, if not for YouTube, most people probably wouldn't know who I am. So I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me in that regard. Does it get a little bit aggravating that YouTube throttles me and takes down my stuff? Well, of course it does. But YouTube is free for me, right? Like I can use YouTube for free. I've been allowed to make a very good living. I still make a good living on YouTube. Dude, I get thousands of dollars in super chats every month. So I'm done with complaining. As men, what we have to understand is that things are the way they are. Okay, YouTube is what it is. You can either bitch and complain about it, or you can fucking adapt and thrive. I have chosen to adapt and thrive. Like I said, I've hired a professional videographer. I'm consulting with 2 or 3 people on the words, what to say, what not to say, how to advertise my brand without, cutting myself off at the knees, and we go from there. So I'm done bitching and complaining about YouTube. If you can't beat them, then play with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you guys that don't know, Donovan has a massive, wildly successful YouTube channel. You just go to right here. He has 63,800 subscribers, over 8 million views in his lifetime.
Actually, a little more than that, to be honest with you.
Wow.
You see where the red on my channel dips precipitously?
Yeah.
You see that? I took down all of my highest grossing monetized or demonetized videos. And I'm going to try to sort of repackage those and try to get them monetized. Not to get the monetization money, but to become a priority in the YouTube algorithm. Okay. And so that's why, I probably have close to about 13 million views lifetime if I made everything available to the public.
Yeah, and there's just such a wealth of information on here. Seeing some of your top videos, like 250,000 views, all along the top here. I just remember there's two really pinnacle moments. I remember one time because I was in 2018, and I remember I was walking to the train station to work, and I remember like some fat guy called in, and I just tuned in, and you're just going in on this guy. You're like, you asshole, like, don't you ever say anything to me. And I just thought to myself, this guy truly is the master of his own domain. And I remember in like 2018 Q4, you were probably doing maybe about the same like now, like 200 live viewers. Yeah. And then I just remember seeing you get a $70 donation, and I was just like, this guy is absolutely fucking killing it. And now I think your top videos are upwards of like 2,500 live viewers. Is that correct?
Yeah. The most live viewers I've had at one time was 2,800, and
Wow.
it's incredible, man. That was my how can I put this? My brand really took off in last summer, the summer of 2019. That was the summer of love. Devin and I took sort of a double vacation. We went to Atlantic City to kind of blow off some steam, do some gambling, and we went down to see her folks in Florida. Well, when we came back to Philly, I said, okay, I'm going to switch some things around. I'm going to take my thumbnail game a little more seriously. I'm going to try to maybe stay away from curse words. Dude, I went from, I had 5,000 subscribers in late May of 2019. I went from 5,000 subscribers in late May. I think I had 25,000 by September. And
Wow.
I went from 25,000 in September to 60,000 in February. Now, of course, YouTube has throttled me again. So I've gone from 60,000 to just under 64,000 in 3 months. So I'm going to try to break through that barrier again. But yeah,
Wow.
it was an incredible growth, man. And to see, and my live viewers just kept skyrocketing. I remember I had 1,700 live viewers. I was like, holy fucking shit, is this really happening? But then I thought to myself, you want to know what, man? Like, I deserve this. Dude, I've been working my fucking ass off I've been writing for Attorney King since 2014. Since March of 14. I've been at this for 6 years. And my story is, listen, you got to keep at it. You have to keep at it. You can't just give up just because you're not making. And I never really set out to do this for money. I never did. I just wanted to help people. I wanted to put my story out there. I was wise with my money. I've got a little bit in savings so I can live off of that. But now it's gotten to a point to where this thing has become a business. And it's weird because I can run this as a business, but not run it as a business. But I love the fact that I can make a living doing what I truly love to do. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a great ride, man. And hopefully I can keep on that upward swing.
I think so. Yeah. A lot of guys. Let's shift a little bit towards men in general. Talking about the guys we help and the problem with masculinity and everything that's going on and what we're really trying to help. I think that's a big thing. Like I'm pretty sure, and this I mean this in a good way. I'm pretty sure you're hard-headed in real life, just like me. Like today, I fucking was fighting this Korean guy on Soul Calibur 6. I went 0-26 on this motherfucker. But on that 27th round, I beat his ass and I quit and I left the champion because I had ego. I was just like, I am not gonna fucking I'm not gonna give up first. And I think a lot of guys, they give up really, really quickly. They give up quick and then they turn around and they bitch. Then they go MGTOW, then they go black pill, or they just go, just become a loser in real life. Like what do you think? Have men always been like this, or have we seen a shift? Because you grew up in the 80s and stuff when you were a kid, and you've kind of seen a shift in masculinity. What's your opinion on everything right now?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I was born in 77, so I was raised in the 80s. The 80s was sort of the tail end of traditional masculinity. I used to watch shows like The A-Team with Mr. T, B.A. Baracus. I watched Knight Rider with Michael Knight. The leads, the protagonists were all men. They were all very strong alpha males. Sylvester Stallone and Rocky, Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was just like every other kid. I liked watching action movies where big muscular guys either beat guys up or blew shit up. But that really started to shift probably in the 90s. And it wasn't really a concerted effort. It was just kind of the way it is. Then come the early 2000s, and you're starting to see it happen on television with the television wives. This is my very first article on Return of Kings, sort of the evolution of the television wife. First there was what was her name? June Cleaver, picture of femininity and grace. Then there was Carol Brady of the Brady Bunch a little bit later on. Then we moved to the 80s with Claire Huxtable. Now, Claire Huxtable was still feminine and docile, but she was a take charge kind of woman, and she was a lawyer. Then you get into the 2000s with King of Queens. Carrie Heffernan she's a ball busting, wisecracking, hot bitch from fucking New York, and it was all downhill from there. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to have at least experienced that in the short term. But men these days have, or actually, I can't even say men, males these days have no resolve. They absolutely have no resolve. At the first sign of trouble, they want to give up. They expect everything to be easy. What men have to understand is that your life is going to have strife. You need to welcome that strife. You need to welcome that adversity. Iron sharp or steel sharpens steel. You have to welcome things going wrong so that you can get through it. But yeah, I mean, listen, I totally agree. Males these days, they're fucking soft as baby shit, man.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like, I always talk about it like when I came to Japan, everybody thinks like I just come on over and like I just show up and there's women in the street ready to hook up with me. Everything's fine.
Like that.
No, I had to send out over 300 applications. I got 4 interviews, failed 3 of them, but 1 got me in the door. And a lot of guys, like when I was in Hawaii, I failed the taxi exam 5 times, right?
Yes.
And I remember on that 5th time, I talked about it earlier this month on the episode. I came home and my girlfriend looked at me with that look. She said, like, it's okay, you'll pass it next time. But she looked at me with the eyes like, you're a loser.
Yep.
Like, I'm dating a loser.
Yep.
And then I dumped her ass after I passed that shit and made a fuckload of money. But, a lot of guys, like, that would break men. A lot of guys, I don't know. The resolve thing is just, it's a rare attribute. So you'd obviously offer consultations. You have a wonderful course, Womenese. You're coming out with the second one on July 31st. Your business is just on a rocket ship upwards.
Incredible.
When you coach these men, like what are like the Donovan Sharpe fundamentals that you think all men should live by? Obviously, I say make money, make muscles, learn game. What's like the Donovan Sharpe creed?
It's interesting that you say that. I am currently working on a book, not a book. Listen, I can't be Rollo Tabasi. That guy's brilliance is,
Yeah.
But I'm working on sort of an ebook. It's going to be called The 48 Laws of Sharpe. And
nice.
So those 48 laws are going to sort of tell you, hey, listen, these are the laws that you need to abide by if you really want to live that red pill life. So I guess as sort of a boilerplate, hey, Donovan, how do I live the red pill life? I would start off with exactly what you just said: make money, make muscles, and what was the last thing? Oh, and learn game.
Learn game.
Money. Listen, money, muscles, and game. But when you first find the red pill, don't worry about girls. Girls aren't going anywhere, dude. There are sluts turning 18 years old every minute of every day. Leave girls alone. Well, what if it's too late, dude? There are 50-year-old men out here, fucking 19 and 20-year-olds. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't let these fucking bitches tell you, oh, I don't date old guys. Yeah, until they see what you look like, right? So leave girls alone for a little bit. Dude, work on your body, work on your finances. If you're in your 20s, dude, don't work. And I know it's hard. It's hard for guys in their 20s not to leave girls alone because in your 20s, you're fucking walking hard on. All you think about is fucking. But if you can use that testosterone drive to get your ass in the gym and build a rock solid elite frame, guess what? You're going to be up to your eyeballs in pussy anyway as a natural byproduct of your physique. So make sure you're financially stable. That doesn't mean be rich. Make sure you are always working out. Make sure you are always working on your body. The third thing that I would advise, and this is something that a lot of men sort of struggle with, is you're going to have to wrap your mind around a few uncomfortable concepts. The first of which is if you want to have kids, you're not going to be able to have kids with an American woman in America. If you want to have children in America, you're going to have to hire a surrogate and buy somebody's egg because you don't want them to have any maternal rights to the kid. Or you can go overseas and you can marry a woman and have kids overseas. Here's another thing that you're going to have to wrap your mind around. If you want to go places where there are better quality women, allegedly Ukraine, Brazil, Colombia, you can't bring those women here. So as a red pill aware male, you're used to all of these creature comforts in America. If you truly want to live a good life, and men say all the time, oh, we don't need women. We don't need women. No, we don't, but we damn sure want them because the red pill is sort of predicated on the acquisition of women. Now, the longer you're in the red pill, the more you begin to realize that, wait a minute, all I have to do is work on these things and women are going to chase me. But it would be disingenuous of me to sit here and say that I don't want women. Dude, like I don't need Devin, but I like having her in my life. And I think a lot of men can sort of readily, but you don't have to be meathead. Oh, I don't need women. Yes, you do. You still want to fuck. So if you're looking for a long-term relationship, you can't have it in the States. You got to go overseas. So those are sort of three things that you're going to have to, realize. Another uncomfortable truth is that your social circle is going to shrink. Like your friends and your family, they're not going to like the changes they see. So,
Yeah.
so again, if you want to live the red pill life, you have to understand it's not all peaches and fucking cream. Donovan Sharpe, I will never have another W-2 paying job in this country again. If somehow somebody were to snap their fingers and all my content goes away and I lose my voice or the ability to talk or they chop off all my fingers, I'm fucking screwed. I can't go work for fucking Lowe's. I can't go for no. They'll be like, "Oh, you're who? Oh no. Get the fuck out of here." This is it. This is my last sort of job. And so, and I like that pressure, but that's the hard reality. Everybody, and we got a lot of guys who say, "Yeah, I'm going to start my channel and this and that and the third." Careful what you wish for, man, because if you get as big as you want to be, you have to understand that that's going to come with some consequences. That's going to come with consequences. This is a great life, don't get me wrong, but it ain't all fucking sunshine and puppies.
Yeah, there was one chick that I tried to hook up with, and so my username for like the WhatsApp of Japan is actually a link to my old YouTube channel. And talk about like girl ninja, fucking stalker shit that they do. She typed in that username into Google, found my old YouTube channel, found my current YouTube channel, and then tuned into the live stream. And then I saw that she popped in on the Instagram live, and then she blocked me and never. Well, she was supposed to come over and hook up, and then blocked me, and I lost a pretty hot girl because of what I do. So yeah, a lot of guys, they think they want this, but next thing you know, you're gonna have a bunch of losers making 8-hour live streams about you every Saturday night.
Dude, and again, I will never understand. Like, I have never felt the need, John, to tune in to somebody's show and troll them in the chat. Like, even if I don't like somebody, I just don't have it in me. Oh, you're this, you're that. I just don't have that in me. Not only that, it's not in me to do an 8-hour stream talking shit about other people. Now, that doesn't absolve me from a few missteps. Okay, I had a little bit of a dust up with Turd Flinging Monkey. I fucking fried his ass for 30 minutes. He didn't respond. A lot of people say, Donovan, you won. Looking back, nobody won. TFM and I are on the same team. The only difference is that the woman I'm fucking has a pulse, and I'm not mad at that, right? We can't tear each other down. But the thing is with guys like that, and I discussed this on yesterday's show called The Six, is that any man who hates on another man who has more than he does is letting you know in no uncertain terms that they are unwilling to do the work that they need to do to get what I get. Any man, John, can do anything. You and I, we're average fucking dudes, man. We're slightly, okay, I have more fans than the average man, but guess what? I put my pants on one leg at a time. I eat, sleep, and shit just like the rest of you. The difference between me and you is that I'm on this side of the camera and that this is what I decided to do.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I just don't understand why one man feels the need to go and troll another man. I'll never understand that. Never understand that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, well, look, let's take obviously we're talking about the biggest clown ever, this MGTOW dictionary guy.
Oh,
he's 45. He lives in 45, lives in New York, clearly has amounted to nothing with his life. And this is what he's resorted to. Like, he has so much of an ego. He makes live streams to rationalize why he's a loser. Like, if you live in America and you're not 6 foot tall and you're not white and you're not all this crazy crap, like, it's over. You're never going to get laid. And it's like, that's not even the truth, man. Look, I am 5'10". I have never had 6-pack abs in my life. I've had a flat stomach before. I've never had 6-pack abs in my life. I'm at a 200-plus leg count, with the majority of the girls coming from America and other states as well. I think my Japan count's finally catching up. But regardless, even like, my favorite cope is like they say, oh, you couldn't make it in America, so you went to Japan. I was like, so I went to a place where I'm an immigrant, where I have literal daily racism against me. that the Japanese, they have 3 alphabets, not one, that I have to study.
God, I didn't know that.
They have 3 fucking alphabets, and they mix them when you read it. It's
Oh,
it's
wow.
insane, dude. And I had to come over here and deal with, like, because in Japan, there's a racial totem pole over here as well, and guess who's at the fucking bottom of it? Foreigners.
White guys. Yes.
Yeah. Japanese guys are at the top, but instead of taking those 8 hours every Sunday, learning to code, studying real estate, studying affiliate marketing, studying digital marketing, building up an agency, starting up a side hustle, anything, opening a fucking convenience store, whatever. You do 8 hours of live streaming, shit talking other people, and all that tells me is you're my number one fucking fan. You're just, the wires are crossed. It's like a girl who claims to hate you.
Yes.
No girl hates you.
No.
They just want to fuck you. Like that girl Lisa Faye, who's obsessed with you, who signed up to Sharpe Stream and everything. I mean, absolutely hilarious. But I just use that guy as an example to other people to witness, like, that is what a failure is in life. And if you don't be vigilant in your observation of your life as a man, by default, you will become a loser.
That's right.
You have to be introspective. You have to be self-aware, and you need to be actively self-improving just so you don't naturally deteriorate, which a lot of guys seem to miss out on that.
No, I totally agree. And as far as MGTOW Dictionary goes, he's not the only one who says that about you. There are a lot of guys. Jonathan couldn't make it in America, so he went to Japan so he could get laid. I got news for you people. If you can't get laid in America, you can't get laid anywhere. You want to know why? Because all women are like that. Just because they speak another language, just because they're a little more feminine, just because they're a little more traditional, doesn't mean that they don't still have that feminine hard drive in the background. Mm-hmm. You can't be a beta male and get laid on the. If you can't be a beta male and get laid on the regular, what the fuck makes you think you can go down to Colombia and bang those fucking bitches, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can't get laid in America, you can't get laid anywhere. All women, regardless of race, nationality, etc., respond to masculinity. That's what it comes down to. There are different brands of masculinity that you have to use with different kinds of girls, even here in the States. But the bottom line is that nobody leaves the United States. Any man who gets laid in the United States doesn't leave the United States to go get laid. What he does is he wants to go get laid without all the fucking headache that comes along with it. Yeah. Guys who have defected to Brazil or the expat to Japan or wherever, they've had plenty of American pussy. But they kind of do the math there. You know what? For all of the shit that I'm putting up with just to stick my dick in a hole for 18 seconds, really not worth it. I'm going to go somewhere where I don't have to fucking fight these bitches to have to fuck them. Now, getting back to MGTOW Dictionary, man, I think his main contention, and I never watch any of his stuff. I guess I'm the number one dating roach. What he and
rightfully so. You're the best.
Well, I really do try. Like I try. That is I make no bones about it. I am trying to be the best. I might not get there, but I'm going to go down swinging. But what guys like MGTOW Dictionary sort of hate on is the money that we make. He thinks that because we make money doing what we're doing, that we're somehow scamming people. I got news for you, MGTOW Dictionary. No one works for free. Not even you. Dude, it took me years to acquire this knowledge. And here's another thing, John. It's almost sort of and I'll give you an example. This is the best way I think I can put it. If you give somebody a $100 JCPenney gift card, right? They go and they spend all right, I'm just going to do this, that, and the other. They don't really value it because it was given to them, right? If that same person buys a $100 JCPenney gift card for himself or someone else, they're going to be a little bit more discerning. I said all that to say this, is that if you give your knowledge away for free, people aren't going to value it as much. If you want people to take your knowledge to heart and actually follow what you teach them, you have to get them to invest a little bit. A lot of people say they want to learn how to get girls. A lot of people say they want to learn how to live a better life, but not really. Okay, if you say you want to know how to understand women, prove it. Buy Womanese 101. Buy Womanese 101, and of course you're going to get, if you bought Womanese 101, you're going to get Womanese Volume 2 absolutely free. So now they're going to take the advice seriously because now they're invested in it, right? And I'll go back to what I said earlier. Nobody works for free. It takes me 8 hours to prepare for a show. I'm not about to do that for free. MGTOW dictionary. You see all these surroundings around me. I'm not doing this for my health. Yes, I'm doing this to help men, but by the same token, I got to make a living. I have to make a living, and I'm not going to apologize to anybody, not even him, for being upfront about the fact that yes, I am absolutely money motivated, but money doesn't motivate my decisions on my brand. If money were the motivating factor, John, then guess what? I'd be just like Derek Jackson. I'd be telling these bitches and niggas out here exactly what they want to hear. No, if I really were in this for the money, my message would be completely the opposite. So fuck what you heard, man.
Oh man, and I think that's one of the most, I really don't like using the alpha beta moniker too much, but
I've stayed away from that now.
But I think one of the most alpha things a man can do, and it's really one of the most high risk, high reward things a man can do, is to say, fuck the world. I'm going to make money on my own. I'm going to become my own self-employed boss, whether it be you work your 9 to 5, fine, whatever, but you become high enough in the company. You can go work when you want to work. You can come home when you don't want to come home, and you do some real estate investments on the side, or let's say you just become a freelancer or whatever, right? I just think it takes a certain type of alpha man to do that. And what a lot of guys don't know is that is incredibly sexy to chicks. A lot of guys don't seem to realize that. Like, I answer to no one, bitch, including you.
That's right. There is something about a man who hangs his own shingle, a man who sort of paves his own way. And Devin, this is actually Devin's first official day working for me full time. And over the weekend, I had to ask her, I had to take her temperature. I'm like, okay, like that's it. You left your company. She's locked out of all of her company stuff. She totally left on good terms. She's going to transfer her 401k over. I'm like, okay, listen, where's your head at? Where's your mind at? You want to know what she told me? She says, you know what, Donovan? I'm scared shitless. She's like, it's like I no longer have a safety net. Yes, you're paying me X amount of dollars, but you are now the boss. My success and failure financially depends solely upon you. Now, me personally, I love that pressure. Dude, I love not having the safety net. But she says, I like being a part of something where I can make a difference. She said, I can go back to my other company anytime I want, but a chance to do what you're doing and to sort of be by your side and help you, those opportunities never come for most people. She says, I'm going to take it. She says, I'm scared and I'm nervous, but she said it's a good nervous energy. So, what it all boils down to is Devin respects me because I've been my own boss since she met me. Listen, I was living in Vegas when she met me. I had my 7 rental properties. I've never had to answer to anyone since I've known her. And this is part of that attraction. She likes the fact that I'm like, nobody is my boss. Nobody is my boss. I answer to no one except for myself. Women not only respect that, they admire and adore it.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you're with a chick and she sees you from the inception blow up, that's a real big investment on their behalf.
Devin she was there. Devin was in front of me when I recorded episode 2 in Hawaii. She was there. And so it's really cool to it's been really cool for her to see how I've grown over the last few years. And now she's a part of that. And she has a very unique skill set that is really going to push this thing into the stratosphere.
That's awesome. You recorded an episode in Hawaii?
This is just a few months after we started dating. I remember she actually sent me a text message. I forgot what I was doing. And she's like, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii? So my text to her was, well, if you're paying, I'm playing. I did not expect her to do that. Dude,
what year was it?
This was in 2016. This was in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I met Devin right around the end of April, early March of 2016. And we've been dating for a few months or seeing each other for a few months. And she says, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii? And I'm like, well, if you're paying, I'm playing. Dude, 2 hours later, she says, all right, this is our plane ticket number. We're going to be staying here, here, and I was like, oh shit, like the bitch was fucking serious.
Wow.
So yeah,
that Which hotel did you stay at?
It was the one at it was the Kona. Give me a second. Kona.
Big Island? You went to Big Island, yeah?
Yeah, and we're actually going back to Kona Resort. The Royal Kona wait, is that it? Yeah, we stayed at the Royal Kona Resort. Had an ocean front view. And so and this was funny. She like comfort tested me throughout the trip. She was like, hey, we should come back here again next year. I said, slow down, sweetie. Like, don't do that with me. And she sort of laughed and chuckled. Here we are 4 years later, now we're going back to Hawaii. We're going to fly to Kauai, the most beautiful island, and that, of course, is enjoying the fruits of our labor. But but for her to sort of see me from episode number 2 all the way where we are now, it's actually pretty cool.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, man. I absolutely love Hawaii. Dude, just so you know, I'm looking at like investments things. There are condos you can buy in Kauai for $50,000.
Yes. Devin and I are thinking about a move. Probably not to Hawaii, but it's not off the radar. John, give me 2 seconds. I got to go take a piss. I'll be right back.
No worries, guys. And guys, don't forget, Donovan Sharpe is a general in the Hot Dude Army. And this month, on June 25th, we are launching Body Language Mastery. You're going to get all the behind-the-scenes interaction with me, Donovan Sharpe, and all the guys featured here on this show during Generals of June in Body Language Mastery. Don't forget, let's take a look at what we got here. We got an infomercial from the High Commander of the Hot Dude Army.
So you want to be a hot dude? Some mighty fine good news there, son. Hi there, I'm Jonathan from ModernLifeDating.com, and I'm High Commander of the Hot Dude Army. Do you want to be an alpha male? Come on down to Body Language Mastery, launching on June 25th, where we're going to give you the complete breakdown on how to be a top-tier alpha male in today's society. Let's take a walk. See, Body Language Mastery is a 2-part program. The first part is the complete video course. This is going to teach you whether a woman is sexually interested in you or she's not interested in you based upon her body language. That way, you keep the women around that are interested in you, and the ones that are not, you send them packing. And quite honestly, that's the easiest part. The second part is what we like to call the Masculine Empowerment Network, where we teach men like you the fundamentals of being a successful man in today's society, focusing on making money, making muscles, and learning game. The Masculine Empowerment Network is comprised of over 600 men across the globe. We're waiting for members like you. As you can see, we have one of our proud members of the Masculine Empowerment Network right here. What is the Masculine Empowerment Network? Well, starting July 1st, every day, we will do 2 educational webinar sessions. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night. Grand total of 30 lessons and over 60 hours of face-to-face live coaching on Zoom. In addition to that, not only do you get the training in quarter 2, you also get grandfathered in and free training in quarter 3 and quarter 4 for this year. That's right, you're going to get over 160 hours of coaching if you enroll on June 25th. In addition to that, you'll receive the entire database of last year's webinars with over 100 hours of red pill content to help you become the best man you can be. So, don't delay. Come on down to modernlifedating.com/body language and let's make a man out of you.
June 25th.
That, man. That is fucking cool.
June 25th, boys. Myself, the legend who will definitely earn his place on the Mount Rushmore of the Red Pill Manosphere, Mr. Donovan Sharpe will be there. It's going to be fantastic.
Question, John. What time are the webinars, by the way? You said 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So are we talking 9 and 9?
So they'll be after my show, so approximately 10:15 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. And then at night, 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. They'll be Monday to Friday for 3 weeks.
You know what? I think I'll probably be able to make it to a few more than I had originally planned because 10 a.m. ish, that is, I could probably squeeze in about 45 minutes to an hour. Dude, I love those webinars, man. I love talking to men who are actively trying to improve their lives. I don't know about you, but to me, that's addicting. It almost makes me like when I hear about a guy who says, Donovan, I just found the red pill, and right now I got a gym membership and I'm investing money. I feel that adrenaline rush because I feel the excitement that comes with a man like at the dawn of self-improvement. I love hearing that stuff, man. Love hearing that stuff.
Dude, I'm addicted to my community. Like I straight up know out of all of us, you know, you, Rolo, Roosh, all the guys, even Ryan, like I know, and Troy too, I have the least amount of clout in the red pill manosphere, but I overcompensate I take pride in it, and I think I'm one of the hardest working guys amongst us because I go live stream 6 days out of the week for the majority of the year.
You put in the work. Listen, a lot of people talk about the work I put in. Dude, you and I have about the same work ethic, man. Yep. You're on the air 6 to 7 days a week. I'm on the air every fucking day, man. And you're there with me fucking show for show. So I definitely respect you for that.
Absolutely. And I love when the guys tell me they get results. I love, you know, there's guys in the community that I talk to on a daily basis, like Josh from Eat Lift Program, my man Scott from Baltimore, who has exploded in his, you know, fucking quality of life, Thor, all the dudes. So It's just a lot of people. When we talk about echo chamber is typically looked upon in a negative light, but you have to create an echo chamber of red pill positivity around you, because the world is like fighting to tear you down. Like, for example, take a look at everything going on right now. The same people that are like looting and destroying in the streets right now, these are the same people 3 months ago fighting each other in Walmart for toilet paper. You know, the Karens who are like running around and shaming people for not wearing masks. Now, all of a sudden, everybody is, you know, and somehow it's all Donald Trump's fault, right? No, they're mentally controlled, and they're like enslaved to the mainstream media, messing with their mind and on a daily basis pumping them full of negativity and giving them these negative emotions and giving them a negative life. Like, you don't watch the news often, do you?
No, I don't have time, dude.
Yeah, and so that's what we talk about this. You know, you got to have a positive network of men around you, and you have to friggin', you know, relentlessly fight against the propaganda and the mainstream media that is literally in America anti-men.
That's right. Right. It is a constant uphill battle. Everything we see on TV and around everything, it's men bad, women good. It's like we're walking, don't get too close to a man, he might rape you. Like, ay. So that's why we have to fight against it. That's actually pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, this comment is hilarious. I had a dream the other night. Donovan was fighting Tess Holiday on UFC. She lost. I think that's a big positive point for your channel as well. Thank you to John Garcia with the $5 super chat. It says, thank y'all. I think one of the most popular things you do, and I think the reason it's so popular, is you break down modern television shows.
Yes.
And you take away the blue pill lies and you give them the red pill truth, which people, man, those shows like those are like crack for these people. You get like so many views.
Yeah, I have built an empire atop it. I taught, and don't get me wrong, I like talking about 3 reasons why she's a slut, 4 things you should never do with your woman, and things of that nature. And that stuff has its utility, but you can get that pretty much anywhere because a lot of guys do that kind of stuff. But I sort of I kind of stumbled into this niche on accident because I love watching shows like The Bachelor and The Bachelor. I love watching dating shows. And I'll never forget, I'm sitting there watching whatever Bachelor dating show I'm watching, and I can't stop talking about it. I'm like, you know, oh my God, he said, or she said this, she means that, blah, 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 blah. And I remember Devin, what did she say to me? She's like, she says, you really need to make a show out of one of these. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're actually right. I've thought about this for a while. And I didn't, I probably could have started this whole thing last summer, but it never occurred to me that there was a need for it. But as soon as I started the Love is Blind breakdown and YouTube shut down 2 of my live streams midstream and made the first one blocked worldwide, I said, yeah, I'm on to something. YouTube doesn't want, dude, the world doesn't want this out there. And the reason it's important for men, the reason these breakdowns are so important for men is because we're not talking about practical knowledge. We're not talking about theories. This is the red pill happening in real time to real people in real life. And to see the hypergamy and the blame shifting and the branch swinging happening right in front of you, this is extremely powerful. That kind of stuff, John, can't be denied. We've talked about the same stuff for years, but we don't really, I mean, unless you do like infields and spy on people, and even still, people are like, they're staged and those are models and they're only saying what you want them to say, this and that and the other. But when you see it on a dating show, that's when people are like, oh, shit. So the things that Donovan talked about way back in episode 285, there it is. He talked about this in episode 314. There it is. So it's extremely powerful for men to see this stuff in real time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's wonderful to see.
Don't block that guy.
Oh, fuck, I just did.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I didn't want you to see it.
He says Donovan is whack. He is simping over used goods. Yeah, he just like he. Oh, shit. To Africa, if that's what you look like, fam, I got nothing to worry about.
John P, thank you so much. It's a salute to you both, Donovan. Your Sunday night shows have been money. That's a new thing you're doing, right?
Yes, yeah, it's called The Six, and what
nice name.
Yeah. What I wanted that show to be was I wanted it to be a black panel, and a guy that I used to do content with years ago, he used to have this thing called the Sunday Rumble. And I kind of got the idea from that, but I didn't really act on it because I didn't realize what it could possibly turn into. This guy's Sunday Rumble was just nothing but niggas shouting at each other. And I'm just like, why would, and like he was there for the nonsense. And so I've completely detached from that guy. I've separated from him, and it's the best decision I've ever made. Matter of fact, when I separated from him, that coincides with when my brand started, going upwards. My success is because of my talent and my work ethic, but I attribute a lot of my success from breaking off from that bullshit ass community. That being said, he was on to something. Unfortunately for him, he's too dumb to bring on smart people and talk about smart things. So year and a half, 2 years later, I said, you know what? I think there's kind of a need for this. There has to be there has to be somebody out there. So I want this to sort of be the Black Man Summit. And it's not we don't even talk about race issues, but a lot of my audience are African American and colored people. And I think it's very important for them to see guys who look and sound and talk like them, to see that we've gone through and been through the same things, and here's how to do it. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mentioned that I'm half Indian, and I have a lot of Indian guys like, hey bro, I'm Indian. Like, we can relate. And I don't even I don't even try to race bait at all. I just very transparent, but people, they need it. And I think, look, the reality is this, and I don't know if you watched, Kevin Hart was recently on Joe Rogan Experience, and he's been creating this Black financial education program where African-American guys, they go into the hood, whatever, the urban cities, whatever you want to call it, and they talk to these young African-American guys about how to come up as a black man, because he says it's not the same if you take a white guy from Wells Fargo coming down there and telling everybody, this is what you need to do in order to be successful. And I think that, each race has their struggles, and it's necessary to learn from your kind of your master in your race, if you will, because that's how you relate to. I can't coach a woman how to go through her fucking third trimester because I've never been pregnant. And it's the same thing. If you came to me and talked to me about specific Black issues, or I came to you, I'm like, Donovan, I'm struggling as a foreigner in Japan. How can you help me? It's not going to line up.
Sure.
So I think that's definitely, it's a space sorely needed, because I see a lot of, how do I say that? I see a lot of infighting throughout the manosphere as well, and there needs to be a united Black front.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Listen, this was probably my main motivation, is that I wanted to show every race of people, Black people can get along. We can collaborate. it would appear, and this is going to be controversial, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck the people who don't agree with me. You guys can all go fuck yourselves. But Black YouTube appears to be more interested in being entertained than being educated. That's not a problem. If you want to be entertained and not educated, that's perfectly fine. But that's the reason I left Black YouTube, is because they didn't really want what I brought to the table. They're like, yo, nigga, entertain us. We want you to be funny. We want you to roast other. I'm not here for that. And I don't try to be entertaining. It's just how I am. I don't write certain things to be funny. It's just that my delivery and the things that I say happen to be funny. I think that's probably another reason why I'm successful. But I want to talk to people who want to be educated. I want to talk to people who are not interested in treading water. I don't want to talk to people who are interested in running on the treadmill. I want to talk to mountain climbers, man. I want to talk to guys who want to climb that mountain. So that was one of the main reasons I left that side of YouTube and started this, because it's like Black YouTube is built on niggas just roasting each other. And it's ridiculous. And then these ignorant ass niggas who just want to see people fucking throw shade at each other, they're there cheering them on. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. They look fucking stupid. Then they wonder why they got 4 baby mamas and still living with they mamas. No, I'm not interested in that. Fuck those guys. Fuck what you heard. And this guy, Tuke African, whatever the fuck his name, Tuke African American, he's probably over there at NiggaTube right now, man. He's here trying to talk all that. Listen, bro, like there's nothing that you can do or say that's going to stop this train. That's just all there is to it, man.
Yeah, I think first of all, that name is fucking catchy. That's like some Sports Center shit. Do you put the 6 and you do number 6 IX, or you just do the SIX?
I thought about that, but if I did, it would look like that Tekashi 6ix9ine, that fucking rapper with all the tattoos. Stay away from that. So I'm working with a logo designer to come up with a sort of a universal logo. And but yeah, I thought about doing the 6, or I don't know. I'm gonna work with some logos, but yeah, that's the reason I decided to call it the 6. It's catchy, it's very short, it's distinct.
That name is phenomenal. I love it. I mean, that's kind of why I made Dude Party, right?
Dude Party's awesome, man.
Because I just wanted to. I think one thing that sometimes content creators they make a mistake of doing is they don't engage their audience. And like the one thing I took from you is like, I need fucking phone lines. I need to talk to my people. Yeah. And that's why with Dude Party, I just throw the link into the chat. I'm like, hey, if you're a dude out there and you want to come and talk to me, I think it's really important to show the world.
I agree.
The kind of guy who his face, what he looks like, and his struggles, and the just to show the world all the men that are out there. So if there's a white guy listening, he says, oh shit, another white guy. Or a black guy listening, oh, another black guy, Indian guy, whatever. I have had people from all over the world come on the panel, and that's really my goal. So I think what you're doing like is going to be just a fucking rock solid success. So guys, listen, that's going to do it for us today. I don't want to take up Donovan's time too much. Go check out Donovan Sharpe on Patreon. Go check him out on everything. And if you want to get exclusive coaching from me and Donovan, again, and all of the other men you've seen on this channel in Body Language Mastery, you can text MLD to 30500. Go to modernlifedating.com/body language. Put your best email address in there. June 25th, we are going to launch, and it's only going to be available for 5 days. After that, doors are shut, price goes up, and you have to wait until Q3. Don't put off making yourself better. We talk about it here. Carlos Dura put the best quote right there. Education sets you free. Right. It's true. Me and Donovan are as free as you can get because we are educated. We're not dummies, despite what some people may think. We're actually pretty smart. So that's going to do it for us today, guys. I'll be back here live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don, you doing a show today?
Yes, I am doing a show on Sharpe Stream. I'm actually doing a double feature. I break down the show Labor of Love, which is about a 41-year-old woman who wants a baby daddy, and then of course I continue my 90-day fiance. So that's what my live streams on my own channel are going to be predicated on. I'm never going to run out of dating shows to break down, and people love to see it. They want to see it. It's very educational. So that's what I'm doing. That's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe to get the password to get into sharpestream.com.
Awesome. All right, guys. Until then, we'll see you here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we continue Generals June. Until then, get out there, make money, make muscles, learn game, and we will see you next time.